Namaste, Marcus here, and some things are happening now with the Earth, with the Sun, that are a great part of our ascension. We tend to forget that we're all connected. Everything is connected. The Earth, the Sun, Moon, stars, the planets in our solar system. It's a fact, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, that when people are born, human beings are born, they're affected throughout their lives, or can be affected throughout their lives, by the positions of different beings in the sky that we call the planets. And these beings radiate vibration out all of the time. We don't understand what this vibration is. We can measure it in some ways with scientific equipment. We can make ideas and assumptions about what's going on, but we don't really know yet. One of the things that the beings who are coming here to help us, who we call the star beings, ETs, who will come for first contact, will be, of course, it's not first contact, is it? I mean, it's definitely not first contact, but first contact in our modern age, in the media at least. So one of the things that these planets, these beings we call planets, are transmitting to us is a vibrational energy. And we can't really understand that energy because it's not in our understanding, let alone our understanding at this time. But I'm advised, right now I'm advised, that this will be common knowledge soon for us. So when we're born, for instance, Mars is in a certain position that affects me on my birth, and at certain times in the year affects me in my normal lifetime. These beings radiate vibrations out to us all the time, but we especially understand it when we look at things like our birth charts, and we look at where we are at a certain time in the year, and we relate it to our birth chart and where the planets are at a certain time, whether they're in conjunction, whether they're in opposition, whether they're in retrograde. And this is how we're affected all the time. And I wasn't actually going to talk about this, but this just come up, and it's obviously the truth. And what I wanted to talk about more than this is we need to understand this, definitely, because this is something that we need to be more aware of as we're going forward. Because when something I've said recently on the videos is about us moving into fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional consciousness, only then, let's say fourth dimensional consciousness, only when we are in fourth dimensional consciousness will we be able to look at and examine 3D for exactly what it is. Because we will be looking at 3D from outside of it, not from inside of it. If you think of the physics of it, if you're inside of it, you can't see all the sides because you're looking at the sides. It's only when you look down on it, you can see everything at once and get a full picture of exactly what's happening to us and for us in this 3D consciousness. Forget the 3D reality of our world and physicality. We're just talking about our consciousness here. So as we move into fourth dimensional consciousness or upper fourth dimensional consciousness, we will then understand what I'm talking about now a lot more, because it will just make sense, because we will totally understand it, because it is then part of our nature, not abstract at all. And so what I was going to talk about, our skin, cells of our body, every day, I think it's millions, it could be billions of them, billions of cells, millions of cells anyway, leave our body. They come off, they fall away. Our cells replace all the time. Our skin is replacing itself all the time, out with the old and in with the new. We're shedding all the time, rebuilding all the time, regrowing all the time. And of course, as we get older, certain parts of that rebuilding, regrowing, slow down. They don't come to a complete stop until we're no longer moving and in the physical sense of what we call alive. But even then, certain parts of us keep moving, I believe. But nevertheless, these things are expanding all the time and growing all the time. And shedding, we're letting go of old stuff all the time. And at this moment, because we're lifting up to this higher conscious awareness, all the stuff that is holding us down, the weight of those old cells, those old body parts that are no longer serving us, the weight of those old psychological traumas, those old problematic events in our lives that have not served us for a long time, they need to let go now. And so because of this, because we need to shed them, we need to bring them into our conscious awareness first. And what can be happening for a lot of us at this time, and I know this is happening to some, is that these things are coming up in your face, as we would say. In your face. Ah. Oh no, look at this. Oh, what have I done to deserve this? That's sort of in your face, okay? And, oh, I shouldn't be going through this now. You know, I've done this before. Why is this happening now? Why have I not got this in control or in check? Or why is this still happening? Why am I still letting go of this stuff? That's why. We need to let go, become lighter, become enlightened by being lighter, of letting go of the old skin, shedding the old, unneeded, unwanted, emotional, mental issues that have kept us in this state of, probably the word I would be looking for is control, because it's a fact for me that we've all been controlled. You know, I remember when I was at school, which was aeons ago for most of you, the first thing you did when you sat down and the teacher came in the class, she'd say, put your hands behind your heads, sit there, don't move, don't breathe, say nothing, keep your mouth shut, stand up straight. You know, it was like, total control. And it's supposedly a fact, I believe it's a fact, that when we're young children and we come back into this world, we remember pretty well everything about the spiritual life, about where we are, what we're here for, and lots of other things about how things work. And shortly after that time of coming back in, at the age of 4, 5, 6, 7, it's all drummed out of us by society, by our parents. Not that they mean to, it's just because of society's way of controlling us to be good little ants. Do as you're told. Make money, make the countries rich, bring us wealth, sacrifice yourself if we're at war so that we can live in our big mansions, and all this sort of stuff that's very negative. I don't even like talking about it. But this is how life has been for aeons. It's nothing new. And all this is changing now. People are going to be working from here, from their heart. People are going to be showing their hearts to others without fear of rebuke or being laughed at, because it's going to be more normal to talk about how you feel and how this event has made you feel, because that is going to be the norm. This is part of fourth dimensional consciousness. You know, a lot of people have this wrong idea, in my view, that, you know, oh, we're going to lift up, we're going to leave our bodies, we're going to just be spiritual beings floating around, nothing, not a care in the world, you know. To a degree, a very small degree, that might be true in my view. Mostly, we're still going to be in 3D physicality for a while, at least. But our conscious awareness is going to be lifted up. When our conscious awareness has been lifted up to fourth, fifth dimensional consciousness, then we will still be living in a 3D type of existence, but on the new earth. Have a look at videos I've done about this, about the splitting of the planet. I did it a while ago. There's several people talking about it now. But this is what I was told some time back about one earth splitting away, because I have contacted Gaia on a channel, and she said to me she was doing this. She had raised and moved up to her new conscious awareness. We can't even think about what it might be, because it's far above our understanding at all. We can't comprehend it. But Gaia is a being, and Gaia is in a new place now. But she's left behind a 3D image for us to continue until we rise up where we can join her again. It's all very far-fetched, and I can't say I totally understand how it works, but we're still going to be physical for quite a while. But our awareness of where we are and how we are in physicality is going to be completely different. This is a good thing. This is something good to look forward to, because we will be in control of our destinies, our lifetime, of our happiness, of others' happiness, because we only want to be in our hearts, for others to be in their hearts, to others to have everything they can, for us to have all that we need. That's how things will be changing for us. I'd like to say it's next week, you know, this year, next year. It's soon. That's definite. I'm hoping I'm going to be here, let's put it that way. So it's not too long away. Namaste. Have a good minute, second. This is what makes your day. Now. 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 There is only now. Till next time, which will be now, then. Not now. Thank you for listening.